Good morning and welcome to Shamanic Sundays. Hi, Dad.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Good to be here with you all. Pops, want to start us off with a morning prayer?
Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. And when you finish with that, more gratitude.
So it's a good plan.
Opening to the gift of life flowing into us, bringing our awareness to the experience of being breathed. Just giving ourselves the experience to be present with our awareness in our bodies. And usually we live in intense times, so usually when there's tension and pressure, we tighten up and the shoulders hunch and jaw and back. And so just noticing that and dropping, letting go, dropping shoulders and neck loosen and back, dropping down all the way through our bodies, opening to that flow of life force coming in with the breath. That flow of energy that we don't create and we don't know how to create. And if it was up to us to create it, we're in deep doo-doo, but the creative wisdom powers of the universe know how to do it. And apparently want all of us here in these challenging times because here we are. And it's sending that life force into us to fuel our lives. So gratitude to you, creator, wisdom power of the universe, Holy Father, Mother, God, Goddess, Tao, whatever you want to call it, or in your mind, hold relationship to. It's the creative wisdom power of the universe flowing into us. So thank you, Creator. Thank you for the gifts of our human lives, these bodies, the gift of awareness that we can sense and feel and think and listen and be aware of this gift you're giving us. And use that awareness to help us remember we wouldn't be here without our ancestors. So we remember all of our ancestors with gratitude, passing life on to us. And remember honor the ancestor spirits of the land we're living on, the ancestral spirits of the indigenous people of the land we're living on. We're in with Kimberly and I this Sunday, Homo and Miwok people. Homo and Miwok people, remember you here. Good Homo and Miwok friends in the spirit world, remember you here. Gratitude. Gratitude for our families. Gratitude for our communities. And gratitude for the ability through the gifts of grace that you, Creator, have placed inside of us to create responses to these challenging times. Thank you for this breath of life that you give us to help us polish up our stardust so we can wake up and remember what it means to live, love, alive in this year of 2025, right into the challenges, be they internal ones in our bodies, minds, our spirits, and in our relationships and lives, whatever the challenges might be. Everyone's coming tomorrow with the inauguration, and who knows what's going to come, and all kinds of stories we can create about the suffering, and most likely there will be suffering, including from the environment. So how to create responses to the challenges of these times that we're living in so that we're not just victim to them, stuck in our unconsciously conditioned reactivity patterns, but we can use the pressure and tension of it all to help us wake up. I'm not this physical body. I'm more than it. It's beautiful. It's fantastic, but I'm more than that. And I'm not my ego identity connected with this physical body. I'm more than that. I'm not the stories that my ego cooks up. I'm more than that. What's the more? Through our connection, our oneness, our interwoven unity with the creative wisdom power of the universe. We're not separate from it. We're in it. It's in us. And when we bring conscious awareness to its presence, your presence, great mystery, with humility and attention, and clear intention about how we want to use this energy to open to do our part to open a doorway to bring through fullest blossoming, greatest good, and be channels for healing, light, and love out into the world. It needs more of the expression of that through kindness and caring and tenderness and generosity and courage and beauty, and for healing and transforming hearts, minds, and spirits. Wake up, wise up. Thank you, Great Spirit, for our joining Shamanic Sundays, all listening, all of you and all those you're going to touch, and all they're going to touch, polishing up our stardust. May it be so. Oh, Pomprios.
May it be so. Thank you.
Right.
A couple of things. At the beginning, you were talking about bringing in the breath, and I just want to bring a little more attention to that. Years back, I did a lot of deep breath work, and just got back into that in the past year or so. And it's so easy to be like, well, of course we breathe, like we're lucky we breathe, but you don't need to like do anything about it. It just happens. But there's so much great stuff you can do in bringing your attention to your breath. And so highly suggest exploring that. There's great videos on YouTube. There's great teachers of breath work, and or just, literally just imagining the breath coming up like through the earth, from the gift from the trees, the plants, all the way through your body, up your spine, your center, just all throughout all your cells, expanding your chest, your abdomen. And then releasing and recognizing your breath out is a gift to the plants and trees all around us, like the one behind us, my beloved fiddle leaf fig that has grown so crazy. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is we often reference, like, in these challenging times, and no question, these are challenging times. And many times are challenging in life. And that's kind of the journey. When a couple of years back, I had this sort of aha that, like, when there's no more stress, you're pretty much dead. And I'd rather be here with dealing with the stresses than not be here. And I hope you are willing to keep showing up too. So we often come to this kind of work when we're going through challenging times, to be sure. And the more we practice this kind of work that we talk about on Shamanic Sundays, the tools that we can cultivate to live a more healthy, aligned, fully in line with the web of life kind of experience, the more we've strengthened that muscle for the hard times. So we need to do it in the joyful times too. And it helps you celebrate life just on a daily basis, even on the kind of easier, better days, like just bringing in a lot of these tools. I find it just enriches the joyful times too.
Just cultivate the quality of joy that's always inside of us.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to feel it or be in touch with it, that it exists, because there's so many pounds, hundreds of pounds of judgment and fear and shame and guilt and everything.
Yeah. Yep. But while we're here, there is flow, even if we feel constricted. And the other day somehow the childhood song, "Row, row, row your boat," came up. And what did you say about that, Dad?
Well, I a couple of days ago in my morning meditations, at the point after I've done my prayers and sent my energy out to you and everyone else that Spirit directs me to send it to, then I just open up for a time of receptivity. Just the door's open, whatever you want me to see or feel or experience, I open myself, I surrender, and we'll work with whatever you send to me. And so during that time of like open listening, feeling, all of a sudden that childhood song started to play in my mind. And I just remember as a kid, sometimes my sisters or friends or whatever, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. So singing that song as a kid, getting off, singing it, enjoying it, having a good time singing it, having no clue what it meant, just felt good to sing it. And so coming back to me in that time of reflection a few nights ago, I just started singing the song, but with a little more consciousness of what those words mean than, as a 10-year-old or something. So row. So the first word, row, row. I think each word has some medicine meaning. So I just wanted to share that with you.
Yeah, so we decided to talk about this. You said if I recall correctly, you said that's a really powerful medicine song, like
Yeah.
if we dig into it. So
Yeah.
that's what we wanted to share with you today.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So row. So the first word, row is an action, you know. It's also a row of plants or a line or something, but in terms of the song, that row. So right away we're doing something. There's action. And what are we doing? We're rowing. Rowing. And so there's, if you think about rowing, there's like a circular motion to it. That's interesting. Okay, a circular motion. Row, 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 or there's like reaching out with the air and pushing back. And so there's movement there. There's bodily, somatic frame movement of energy through the body. Row, row, row. And what are you rowing? You're rowing your boat. Good. What's the boat? You know, our spirit's living in. What's the container that we're in and holds our spirit for the time of our life walk? Rowing my boat. I'm rowing my boat. Rowing my boat. Row, row, row your boat. How should you row it? Pushing, stressing, straining, full of anger and constriction and inflammation. Row, row, row your boat gently, gently, gently. And just a suggestion, side suggestion, given the amount of tension in our lives today, wouldn't any moment of conscious gentling be a good thing to do? Releasing, letting go, row your boat gently, gently, down, down. So the energy down, grounding energy, grounding down into Mother Earth, grounding down into our center and roots, strong roots, trunk, roots going down into Mother Earth. And check it out yourself in your own experience, but the more we can move from this to grounding, letting go and connecting with a power bigger than us coming up from the earth to help us meet whatever energetic challenge we need to meet. So row, row, row your boat gently down. Down what? The stream, the stream, the stream, the stream, the flow of the universe.
Flow of the universe.
The flow of the universe. The Tao is called the great Tao. The flow of the universe. Row your boat gently down the stream. Down the stream. And oh, by the way, while you're rowing your boat gently down the stream, you're not going against the stream, but you're working with in harmony and balance with that larger flow of the universe. That's open to that power, and you got access to a lot of juice to help you meet those challenges that feel like they're too much for you. Accessing that bigger power. Row your boat gently down the stream. How? Merrily, 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 merrily. You're in the experience, no matter what it is, but try to find a way to find some joy, like we was talking about, something to be thankful for in the midst of the struggle, in the midst of sitting in the fire, so to speak, whatever way it might be manifesting in your life. Life is but a... And let's leave that last word in pause for a moment and just be with that. Life is but and then let's just call in some science from the particle physicists here for a moment, who tell us that...
And the shamans, who are, I believe, our original particle physicists.
Yeah, you're right. He's right.
Every once in a while.
That tell us that this, what we perceive as solid objects out here is the result of brain-mind interaction in there taking place unconsciously, that's creating a virtual reality that then we project out into the mystery of dancing energy. It's all energy, whoa, but we don't see it that way. What we see is the bush, each other, the cup, you know, the prayer arrow, you know, it's everything separate. And seemingly solid objects, but the quantum physicists, the particle physicists, who kind of peel those outer layers apart, you might say, and look deeper inside. What's shaking way down there? You know, what's happening? So, whoa, there is no solid thing here. There's just different energy patterns that are dancing together for a period of time and manifesting in a certain way. That's what's so. There's that old saying: we don't create the universe. We create our experience of the universe. Life is but a dream, a virtual reality. There's more going on here than what we see in our ordinary consciousness from Western conditioning that is cultivated in us the belief and therefore the perception of separation. Life is but a dream. On the deepest level, we're not these things that we appear to be. We're all energy, beautiful energy that always seeks. This is like a cosmic force of the universe. What is the universe doing? You know, the stars exploding and dying, and black holes and expanding and contract, dark energy. But it's a great mystery. But one thing that you can say for sure seems to me, there's a growth force. There is a growth force, and life on Mother Earth is an experiment, and it's an exploration of let's try this formula out here on Mother Earth, and all of a sudden we've got energy dancing in a way through systems like ourselves evolved over billions of years that experience the beautiful things we can see with our eyes, that can experience it all and be aware of it, self-reflective consciousness, and be able to talk about not just the surface dynamics, but the meta dynamics underneath. What's going on here? Let's open and drop in deeper. And as we do that, then the illusionary perception of separation disappears. It disappears in the shaman's consciousness. It disappears in the particle physicist's consciousness. Well, there's no such thing as a thing. We're all here in this interrelated energy dance, constantly changing energy dance, and the way we experience it in our perceptions is it's a co-creation with that. You might say the raw energy that comes into us, and we create inside ourselves. There's a mountain, there's a river, there's a flower, there's a child, there's a whatever. That's we're creating that inside of our own, between our ears here. So it's life is but a dream. So might as well, the wisdom of the child, it says in the Bible, and the child shall lead them. Times get tough. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Why not try to work together to co-create a dream with peace and justice and beauty and harmony and a win-win world that works for all of us? Why not work together, open up to the wisdom guidance available to all of us about how to create that kind of world? Children's medicine song.
Who would have thunk? I love it too, because I remember when I was younger, and probably recently, I'm just not thinking of a time, but I really remember struggling when I was younger with the adage of like, go with the flow, right? And, you know, work your hardest, aim for the moon, and then you'll land on the stars. And, you know, so like work your hardest. How do those two things coexist? And this really, I feel like, sums that up. Like, yeah, here you are, here's joy, here's challenge, whatever it is. To stay alive, you have to keep rowing. And if you want to create something, you certainly have to keep rowing, and you want to stay in the dance of the flow of the universe.
Well, so I do.
Yeah, me too.
I certainly do.
Put that intention out there.
Yeah,
Yep.
Certainly my experience when I've tried to resist it, I don't like what's happening. I'm going to push back against it. I'm going to, it's actually a violent energy in a way that feeds more violence and more reactivity as compared to what's the information in this energy that I'm experiencing, and how might I be able to create a skillful relationship with that energy and use it toward a conscious purpose and goal.
Yeah. One of my favorite books is by this guy named Lawrence Gonzalez. It's called Deep Survival. And his family history involved some survival things that I think his grandfather had gone through, and his dad. And so he was really interested in this. And if I remember correctly, became like a Marine. And so he was going through a lot of stuff. And he identified like 7 traits that people who are survivors have. And he, you know, looked at and interviewed like, you know, mountain climbers who, you know, their climbing partner fell down a crevasse on one of the highest peaks, and that person broke their pelvis and somehow crawled, you know, coming down a 20,000-foot mountain. And the person had said, you know, one of the things that got him through was like hearing the sound of the crampons. He let that become like music. right? So that
Beautiful.
right, that could be suffering or it could be music.
Yeah.
And so the ability to like find joy, that was that characteristic. And then another one was, and this one ties in specifically with today's subject, is the ability to like be here now. So your plane just crashed. Most of the people on the plane died. You're one of the survivors. How fast are you able to look around and be like, okay, this is not at all what I planned or what I intended or hoped for or wished for? All these terrifying, horrible feelings. And here I am now. So now what am I going to do? Right. So it's like that balance of being in the present, being in the flow, and continuing to take steps forward. So,
Yeah, here's
yeah.
just a recent example of that. My car died on the freeway driving up here, and
Again,
gratitude to the angels of protection that I was in the right lane. I could get off to the side of the road before they totally died, and wasn't in the middle lane. So gratitude. So the tow truck drivers eventually comes a couple of hours later to tell me in the car to the nearest garage, and it's a big burly, tatted up Mexican man, um, and I get in the truck and start talking. And I see he's got a little chain hanging from the window, not the window, the mirror, rear view mirror. And I look at it real close because it's small, and I see it's a picture of Jesus. So I said to him, I said, "Oh, Yeshua, yeah?" He said, "Yeah." And then I said, love energy. It was all about love energy. And then we got into this great discussion about love and parenting, and we had this great time. So as a part of me was frustrated, upset, pissed off, angry about what happened with the car, all of a sudden I found myself, don't dwell on those energies. They're just feelings, let it go. Pay attention to the story you're telling yourself that can make this be really a suffering situation. Or here you are with this guy, you're alive, and open up to the possibilities of what's here right now. And all of a sudden we're buddies, man. We're really tight. We're sharing on a real deep level. So gratitude to Brother Raul for getting me to a good place.
absolutely.
Finding joy in the midst of it all.
Yeah. And gratitude to each of you for showing up today in the midst of it all and being here with us. And may you do good rowing and flowing with the merry stream in the coming week.
Oh,
We'll see you next week.
bye con
Take
Dios.
care.